welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Brianna. I am a certified personal trainer, a big, huge biology nerd, and a registered dietitian to be. Today we're gonna have a little discussion about dietary supplements, the MLM products that sell them, and what the FDA has to say about them. Plus, stick around and I will tell you guys about an experience that I had on Instagram last week about a Beachbody coach who firmly believes that the FDA has signed off on her precious Shakeology. Before we continue, if you enjoy science-based health, wellness, and fitness education with some lulls along the way, why not go ahead and hit that subscribe button? I would really appreciate it, and my dogs would appreciate it as well. Without further ado, let's get started. The world of supplements has been captivating those of us within the fitness and health industry for eons. If you've ever picked up a bottle of protein, fish oil, BCAAs, anything like that, then you have probably seen in fine print this disclaimer. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Something that a lot of people don't know is that dietary supplements are not regulated by the FDA, nor do they have to have the approval of the FDA before they're marketed and distributed to the public. So this disclaimer that we see on all of these supplement containers, what does it mean? The FDA actually doesn't have the authority to approve dietary supplements before they are distributed to the public. Believe it or not, it's actually up to the manufacturer to ensure the safety and efficacy of dietary supplements before they are distributed and marketed to the public, not the FDA. There are many supplement companies out there, and they're not all created equally, but I personally do not trust all of them to do their homework, to fact check and safe check all of their supplements before they are released to the public. So the FDA, as you probably ascertained by now, regulates food and they regulate drugs. Dietary supplements are considered food by the FDA and are regulated as such. So the second part of the statement on that disclaimer, these products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. That simply means that since dietary supplements aren't drugs that are made to diagnose or treat a disease or condition, they can't make claims that they do. For example, ibuprofen is an over-the-counter painkiller, and on the ibuprofen bottle, it's allowed to say for muscle aches, menstrual cramps, and stuff like that because it's a drug and it's been approved. It seems though like a lot of supplement companies kind of, whether they're distributors or the actual companies themselves, they seem like they kind of get around based on really specific and concise wording. They kind of get around getting in trouble for certain claims that they seem to make. Here's a couple examples. A lot of supplement companies say that, oh, this protein shake will help you lose weight, this appetite suppressant will help you lose weight. That's not like an outright claim. They're not saying this supplement will cure your obesity, but I don't know, to me it's kind of like, they're kind of like treading in shallow water with that when they say things like that. But again, there's that disclaimer that you see on the container of all their supplements that kind of saves them. Another supplement company, Alani Nu, by the supplement company that's owned by Katie Hearn and her husband Hayden Schneider. No shade, because I've actually followed Katie Hearn on and off for a very long time. I've followed her before they even got married. So not trying to throw any shade, but this is something that I've seen on her page before. I think she has it in her highlights actually. They have a supplement in their within their company called Balance, and I guess it's helped a lot of women get pregnant. Infertility is a condition, and you know, they can't outright say this product will treat your infertility, but you know, they put out these success stories of women saying, oh, I've been on Balance for this long, and look, I'm pregnant now after all these failed fertility treatments. Thank you so much, Balance. You know, it kind of seems like, again, it's not an outright, this will cure your infertility, but you know, there's a heavy implication there. Another example is Arbonne Skin Elixir. The supplement claims to improve your skin elasticity by increasing the collagen in your diet. These supplements, just like hundreds out there on the market, they kind of make claims, but they're not outright straightforward claims. And then again, they also all bear that disclaimer on them that you always see on supplements in the United States anyway. So in that regard, I guess they kind of, in a way, save themselves. There are hundreds of supplement companies in the United States, maybe even thousands, but for the sake of the trend, we're going to hone in on some of our favorite MLM supplements. Arbonne, Herbalife, and Shakeology of Beachbody. So in my last video, which is I think at over 1,000 views right now, which is so crazy. I can't believe how well that video did. So thank you to those of you who saw that video and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, commented. I really appreciate the engagement on that. I worked really hard on that video. Anyway, if you haven't watched that, you should watch it. I'll link it down below. So in that video, I really quickly touched on the Arbonne's FDA stuff. I just mentioned while I was looking through the 30 Days to Healthy Living Guide, they have a little disclaimer on the bottom of all the pages where the supplements are listed. But we didn't get much deeper into it than that. So let's take a little bit of a deeper dive into Arbonne, the FDA, and the safety and efficacy of their products. I went to Google and I typed in like Arbonne FDA, and you'll notice is when you see like any of these supplements, man, they use a lot of marketing buzzwords like vegan, gluten-free, soy-free, dairy-free, that sort of thing. But you'll never find anything that says that they're FDA approved, because they're not. So Arbonne has something called Certified Arbonne Clean. What the heck does that mean? Basically, it means everything that I just said, that Arbonne products are gluten-free, cruelty-free, dairy-free, and you know, whatever else I just listed. I hope I didn't get any of those wrong. Are they FDA approved? No, they're not. They claim that their products are safe and effective, but remember, the FDA does not decide that. Arbonne decides that. Do you trust Arbonne? I don't. So quite frankly, them saying that they are certified Arbonne clean means absolutely nothing at all to me. So moving on to Herbalife. Herbalife is one that is interesting and captivating in all of the wrong ways. I briefly mentioned this in a previous video. A couple years ago, Herbalife products came under fire because it was found that they were causing acute liver damage in regular users. The main study that I found, I will link below. I hope I don't get any of this information wrong, but that's the first one I found. In that initial study, 2 people from, I believe it was India, came forward, and it came about that they were regular users of Herbalife products and it caused acute liver injury in both of these people. After that study, I found another one, and in that study it said, so after that initial 2 people came out, they came out with like 50 more cases of people who were regular users of Herbalife products, you know, and they all had similar symptoms. And it turned out that they were suffering from hepatotoxicity, which is basically, you know, hepato means liver, toxicity means toxic. Basically, acute liver damage, acute liver injury, as they were saying in the article. These cases came from all over the world, including Spain, the United States, and even Switzerland. These studies concluded that even though they couldn't pinpoint exactly which ingredient in the products they were using, they all concluded that yes, the liver injury was a result of using Herbalife products. Also, as kind of a side note, I came across another study that went into detail about studying Herbalife products, and in some products distributed in India, they found heavy metals and toxic bacterial agents in the products. I will link that study down below, but if you click on it, it'll take you to the page, it's there, but you'll scroll down and you will find this message. For legal reasons, the publisher has withdrawn this article from public view. For additional information, please contact the publisher. Okay, so I tried for the life of me to find some kind of statement or something published by Herbalife, seeing exactly what Herbalife had to say about this, and I couldn't find anything. Deeper into the rabbit hole I descend, and I found another article titled Herbalife Scam Weight Loss Product Associated with Fatal Liver Injury. The article is from a .com, and I'll link it below. It wasn't a scientific study. I think it was just, I read it and it just seemed like it was kind of more reporting on the studies that they found. Something that was interesting about that article as well, I'll link it, and you click on it, it'll take you to the page, and then when you scroll to the bottom, you will find this message. The Dockwire News article entitled Herbalife Scam Weight Loss Product Associated with Fatal Liver Failure, published online November 25th, 2019, referred to with the first paragraph and elsewhere a case report published in the Journal of Clinical and Experimental Hepatology that has since been removed by its publisher, Elsevier, for legal reasons following a complaint from Herbalife. According to the notice from Herbalife Counsel, the article has been removed by Elsevier BV, the publisher, following a complaint by us, Herbalife, that the article is untrue and defamatory. According to Elsevier's article, Withdrawal Policy, removal of an article from the online database will only occur where the article is clearly defamatory or infringes others' legal rights, or where the article is, or we have good reason to expect it will be, the subject of a court order, or where the article, if acted upon, might pose a serious health risk. There's a little more there, but I just wanted to stop there. We couldn't find an exact statement from Herbalife, but those two sources alone have taken down their articles and their studies after complaints filed from Herbalife because they were accusing them of defamation, and it seems like Herbalife probably maybe threatened to sue. So I think that kind of just goes to show what Herbalife really has to say about their products causing acute liver damage in people. There you go. We've now arrived at quite possibly the only reason you clicked on this video, for the tea. So, last week on Instagram, an anti-MLM account I follow called the Anti-Beachbody Coach posted this picture on her Instagram. It's a Beachbody coach making claims about her income over the years. I engaged with her post quite a bit. I commented on the picture, this. She wasn't making a decent livable wage until 2 years in. Even so, don't they have to spend money on Shakeology every month to stay active, plus spending more money to maintain, quote unquote, the image? Why don't they like real jobs again? That was my comment, and for some reason, my comment just kind of set off a chain reaction, and a very, very lost Beachbody coach found herself in our comment thread. Let's dive into that sweet, sweet tea. Before I read off these comments, I have to shout out the Anti-MLM Blondie and another user who wished to remain anonymous, who gave me the screenshots of our interactions with this person. After a while of interacting with her, she ultimately blocked a bunch of us, myself included, but she for some reason, and I don't know how she missed this, she for some reason didn't block the Anti-MLM Blondie and this other person. So when I was researching for this video, I went back to the thread and posted a comment. I was just, this is a long shot. Does anybody get screenshots so that I could use them for my video? Because I didn't want to just sit here and be like, she said that. By a big stroke of luck, these two people who she actually didn't block, they were able to see her comments. So they sent me screenshots of everything she said in this comment thread. So big shout out to those two. Thank you guys so much. All right, so here we go. The very first response under my initial comment was this. I wouldn't be surprised if they average close to $500 spent every month on all the supplements and products they have besides Shakeology. It's so ridiculous. This Beachbody coach hopped on here and said this: research your shit before you run your f***ing mouth. Very professional. And then this next comment isn't really related, but I wanted to throw it in just because I thought it was funny. Somebody said to her, "Is that how a daughter of the king should talk?" Those of you who don't know this, I'm not religious, I don't go to church. We don't identify with any religion. I see on a lot of people's Instagram profiles, daughter of the king, and I'm just like, who is this king and why does he have so many children? It took me a while and I was like, okay, the king is God. So they're saying like they're like a child of God. Okay, got it. I got it now. I just thought it was funny that, that girl was just really rude and like vulgar and just so brash with her response. And then that person responded, "Is that how a daughter of the king should talk?" I thought that was a good clap back. While this was going on, I was actually at Walmart picking up a prescription for my husband, and they had me waiting forever. So I remember that I was like sitting in the car, and I was actually watching Kylie Dennison's videos. Kylie Dennison's anti-MLM videos. I was just trying to kill some time waiting for my prescription. And I see the thread going and going and going, and this girl's just keeps engaging people. She's going back and forth, and I was gonna leave it, but finally I was like, all right, you know what, I don't have anything better to do. I'm gonna respond to her. So here is my one and only response directly to her. My dear, number one, not everyone has kids and needs to work from home to be with them. I don't have kids, don't want them, and have begun working from home without recruiting people into a scheme that will inevitably lose the money. 2, you're not a registered dietitian or a certified personal trainer. Buying a starter pack doesn't give you the same credibility as a legitimate professional. 3, supplements are not regulated by the Food and Drug Administration, so you all making health claims about them is a danger to public health. Also, there are many scientific controlled studies that demonstrate that the use of supplements for weight loss or wellness is not at all necessary. 4, if you're rolling in dough like you say you are, good for you, girl. You're part of the 1 to 2% that makes money. This page is to warn the other 98 to 99% that they will lose money if they join your opportunity. By the way, if you want to be taken more seriously as a business owner, or boss babe, perhaps don't curse at people on a public platform such as IG. But hey, I don't want to tell you how to run your biz. All the best. So really quick, my first point when I was talking to her about the thing about like not everyone has kids that they want to stay home with, in one of her earlier comments, which I missed that screenshot, but in one of her earlier comments, she mentioned, well, I'm working from home, so I get to stay home with my kids. So that was that comment. So that's what that first point I meant mean. So I have another Instagram account for something completely unrelated to this, and I'm not gonna tell you guys what it is in case this video comes back to her, and then she'll block that account too. But I have another Instagram account. So I looked at her Instagram account for my other account after she blocked me, and she's pregnant. As far as I could see, she does not currently have children that are outside of her womb. So I don't know what kind of point she was trying to make there. I guess she's like bragging about how she can stay home with her fetus, I guess. I don't know. I don't even know why she said that. And then my other point about like how I don't want kids, which is true, me and my husband don't want kids. I have a friend with 3 small children. I swear, I don't even know how they keep their kids alive. It boggles my mind. And just something else really quick. I looked through her Instagram stories, and this is a point on how she is not a fitness professional, because if she were, she would not have been doing this. I looked on her Instagram stories, and I'll insert the video here. It's of her exercising outside in the heat, pregnant. That is extremely dangerous. If she were a legitimate fitness professional, she would know how dangerous it is to exercise outside in the heat when you're pregnant. You've got a fetus growing inside you. You could overheat really fast. So, you know, if she were a legitimate fitness professional, she would know that that is extremely unsafe to do. And I really hope she doesn't do that anymore. So, you know, if she sees this video, I'm not trying to bash her. Girl, do not work out in 80, 90, 100 degree heat in your current state, okay? It can be really dangerous. Anyway, so her response to me was, actually, they are FDA regulated, so it sounds like you need to do your research. Boy, I've sure got egg on my face right now. This is embarrassing. You guys heard her. She said I gotta do my research, so let's do some research. I like how she completely skipped over everything else that I called her out on, and she just kind of decided to be like, actually they are FDA regulated. Like, I really thought she would come back and say something like, I may not be a registered dietitian, but I read the Beachbody Nutrition Coach handbook. I don't know if there's a handbook, don't quote me, there's probably not a handbook. But I don't know, I thought she would try and, she didn't even like defend herself on the other things. She completely skipped over all that other stuff. So she kind of proved my point with that. Anyway, let's do some research. Dietetics, practice and future trends. The Food and Drug Administration, FDA, regulates the safety of drugs and foods, and therefore what is allowed on the market. Okay, not a whole lot there. Food service organizations, a managerial and systems approach. Food and Drug Administration. The Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act, passed in 1938, is enforced by the FDA. The purposes of this act are to ensure that foods other than meat, poultry, and fish are pure and wholesome, safe to eat, and produced under sanitary conditions. The act also requires that packaging and labeling are in agreement with the context. The FDA is one of our nation's oldest consumer protection agencies. NASM, Essentials of Personal Fitness Training. What are dietary supplements? The DSHEA defines dietary supplements as products other than tobacco, intended to supplement the diet and meet at least one of the following criteria. Contains one or more of the following: vitamin, mineral, herb, or other botanical, amino acid, dietary supplement, dietary substance to supplement the diet by increasing the total dietary intake, concentrate, metabolite, constituent, or extract, or a combination of any of the previously described ingredients. Intended for ingestion in a tablet, capsule, powder, soft gel, gel cap, or liquid form, labeled as a dietary supplement, cannot be represented for use as a conventional food or as a sole item of a meal or diet, cannot include an article that is approved as a drug or biologic. Because the Food and Drug Administration does not need to approve dietary supplements before being sold, and instead the sole responsibility for determining the safety and effectiveness of a dietary supplement falls on the shoulders of the company that manufactures and markets it. Almost anything that is not already classified as a drug can be put into a pill, capsule, or powder form and sold as a dietary supplement. Understanding food, principles, and preparation. Dietary supplements. Under the 1994 Dietary Supplement Health and Education Act, Dietary supplements are treated as foods. Health claims can be made for dietary supplements as long as they are not disease claims, which are only allowable for drugs. Manufacturers of dietary supplements that make structure/function claims on labels must submit a notification to the FDA no later than 30 days after marketing the dietary supplement. Further information can be found on the blah 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 long-winded website. Structure/function claims. Structure/function claims describe the role of a nutrient or dietary supplement intended to affect normal structure or function in humans. For example, calcium builds strong bones. Fiber maintains bowel regularity. Antioxidants maintain cell integrity. The manufacturer is responsible for ensuring the accuracy and truthfulness of these claims. Although not pre-approved by the FDA, they must be truthful and not misleading. If a dietary supplement, rather than food, label includes such a claim, it must have a disclaimer on the label. Disclaimers state that the FDA has not evaluated this claim and that the product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Only a drug can legally make such a claim. Okay, so we got quite a good amount of information from some of those textbooks that we just read. Most of those were my textbooks from school. One of them, the NASM Essentials, was actually the textbook I used to study for my my CPT exam. All of that was sufficient enough for me, but just in case it's not sufficient enough for her, why don't we look directly on the Beachbody website and see what Beachbody has to say. This is on faq.beachbody.com. Somebody asked, is Shakeology FDA approved? They answered, dietary supplements do not require FDA approval, and the FDA only regulates supplements that make health or disease claims. That would make them regulated as drugs. Basically, our supplements are not FDA approved because no dietary supplements are. All of our supplements contain the following statement. The FDA regulates these products as dietary supplements. If you have any questions about how you feel while taking these supplements, call your doctor. Do not stop or change prescribed medication without the permission or prescription of your doctor. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to treat, cure, or prevent any disease. So, I mean, there it is right there in black and white. Beachbody, right there, clear as day, it's on their website. They say Beachbody supplements are not FDA approved. In their disclaimer that they say is on all their Beachbody products, the first sentence, the FDA regulates these products as dietary supplements. From my research, I don't know that that's correct. You know, maybe, I don't know if maybe I mixed something up, but based on what we have read, based on everything I've read, based on my education, based on my knowledge, the FDA regulates dietary supplements as food because the FDA regulates food and they regulate drugs. Shakeology is not a drug. So it therefore can only be regulated as food. I don't know if that's correct. Maybe it is in some like obscure loophole on a contract somewhere. I don't know. So we read a bunch of books. Beachbody told us, your precious Shakeology is not FDA approved. And it's not regulated as a drug because no dietary supplements are. They're regulated as food, and it's up to Beachbody to determine their safety and effectiveness. I don't know about you guys, but I don't totally trust Beachbody. So all that information we just read, that's good enough for me, but I don't know if that's gonna be good enough for Miss Beachbody Coach that got on our conversation thread here. I returned to Google and I wanted to see if I could find a word from any other Beachbody coaches and what they had to say about dietary supplements and the Food and Drug Administration. I came across a post on a website titled coachquestions.com. And the question is, why isn't Shakeology FDA approved? I read the whole thing on my own time, but I'm not gonna sit here and read it to you guys. But I wanted to pick out some things that I found particularly interesting about this article. So, you know, we're already covered in dirt and worms and stuff. Let's just dive even further into this rabbit hole. So we scroll down and where there's a quote inserted here from Dr. Lay, who's the former FDA commissioner. Let's read it. The thing that bugs me is that the people think the FDA is protecting them. It isn't. What the FDA is doing and what the public thinks it's doing are as different as night and day. I found this quote interesting, and I did a little bit of research on this person, and based on what I could find, it seems like this guy kind of butted heads with the ultimate goals of the Food and Drug Administration. I believe what he's saying to a point. I do wholeheartedly agree that drug companies want their money, but I don't know that I agree that the FDA's goal is to necessarily hurt public health. I hope not anyway. We'll get back to that in a second. So let's keep going for now. If we continue looking, they make a point about, well, no supplements are FDA approved. It's not just Shakeology. So it kind of feels like they're saying, oh, well, no supplements are approved. It's not just us, so we're not that bad. And they continue by saying, oh, well, the FDA is just about pharmaceuticals and making money. Well, yeah, it's in the name. Food and Drug Administration. And as far as them wanting to make money, yeah, no shit. But you know what? So do you, Karen. Otherwise, you wouldn't be trying to sell me your stupid Shakeology. That was not a good argument. So let's hop down to the next paragraph and read that. What I think is ridiculous is that the FDA does not approve natural treatment/supplements that are proven to work. For example, scurvy, which is a disease caused by vitamin C deficiency, can be treated and cured with vitamin C supplements. This is proven and doctors will agree. However, because vitamin C is natural and not a drug that can be patented, the FDA does not approve it. Then they have an article linked at the bottom, and the link took me to an article that was titled preventdisease.com, which every English and literature professor or teacher I have ever had in my entire life would tell us that this is not a dependable source, but they linked it. It's what we have to go off of. Let's take a look at it. The article is titled Intravenous Vitamin C, a cancer killer the FDA once banned. So this article is long, so we're not gonna sit here and read this whole thing. I think it made some really valid points, but it also said some things that I feel like I know to be false based on my education and knowledge. For example, right in the first paragraph, it says, vitamin C is remarkably safe even in enormously high doses. Compared to commonly used prescription drugs, side effects are virtually non-existent. That's not necessarily true. Vitamin C is a water-soluble vitamin, so unlike fat-soluble vitamins, it's not stored in your body's adipose tissue. So because of this, severe side effects aren't likely, but side effects are definitely still possible. Too much vitamin C can cause stomach upset and explosive diarrhea. I know that both from school and personal experience. Mind your business. Anyway, so the article goes on to say that the FDA did ban IV intravenous vitamin C. Their reasoning is because it can't be patented and therefore can't go through the proper channels to becoming FDA approved. I personally agree with the overall tone of this article. I think that the FDA should look into more natural treatments of diseases and certain conditions. Who knows when and if they ever will, though. I don't know this for sure, but maybe the reason vitamin C can't be patented is because it's naturally occurring in so many different foods. To me, that kind of seems like that's like patenting sunlight or water. Anyway, all that to say that this post seemed to basically turn into a post completely bashing the FDA, which is funny because the author of the post noted that in the last paragraph. Here in the last paragraph of this post, it says, just because something hasn't been evaluated by the FDA doesn't mean it's a bad or harmful product. The FDA only approves drugs, so maybe it's FDA-approved substances that you need to look out for and stay away from. Yes and no. Penicillin is a powerful antibiotic, which is FDA-approved and is used frequently in the healthcare industry. Penicillin will kill my husband because he is allergic to it. Sulfa drugs are a class of drugs that a lot of people also are allergic to. I had a friend one time who told me about a scary experience that she had in which she almost died after being administering sulfa drugs. Those are FDA approved. Yeah, they almost killed her though. So maybe she won't take sulfa drugs anymore. When I get tension headaches from doing research from these videos and reading all the dumb shit that MLM people say, I have to take ibuprofen. It kind of seems like in this article, they're trying to make a point that the FDA is trying to keep you, the consumer, from being healthy, so that's why they don't approve certain supplements. I have my own opinions about that, but at the end of the day, the FDA regulates food and they regulate drugs. The ultimate tone that I get from this post is that they're trying to get you to not trust the FDA by saying, oh, well, they don't approve vitamin C and vitamin C kills cancer. They're trying to get you to not trust the FDA to kind of get you to realize, oh, supplements aren't that bad, but also they want you to buy Shakeology. in the grand scheme of things, this article, in my opinion, becomes completely moot when you realize that it was written in support of an MLM supplement company, which in my opinion is not a legitimate supplement company. In conclusion, who should we trust? Personally, I do not trust MLM supplement companies because they really just need a product thrown in there so that they're not outright called a pyramid scheme. Also, they just want your money. Now, it could be argued, oh, well, you know, other supplement companies, Dietary, Nutrition, Alani Nu, you know, all those other supplement companies we see, they just want your money too. Yeah, they do want your money. However, I have more trust in the supplements that are on the shelves in GNC and Vitamin Shop versus MLM supplements because the supplements on the shelves in GNC and Vitamin Shop are not there as a cover to recruit you into a terrible business model. Ultimately, supplements are at your individual discretion and between you and your healthcare provider. Don't take this video as me just bashing all over supplements. I use supplements sometimes. I'm out and about, if I'm running errands and, you know, maybe I'm poorly prepared and didn't pack a snack with me, I'll find a GNC and I'll run in and buy a protein shake. I also occasionally take an herbal supplement to help me deal with anxiety that I have. Is me taking these supplements a risk? Yes. In my opinion, it's less of a risk than going every month to Arbonne or Beachbody and spending $100 to $300 on supplements that, in my opinion, are just not that great quality. If you made it to the end, thank you so much for sticking around. That's all I have for today. Funny side note, this is the second time I'm recording this video. The first time, oh my gosh, I looked absolutely terrible. I actually sat and recorded this entire video, but ultimately when I was like going back and reviewing it, I know this is such a superficial first world problem, but I was just not confident with how I looked. Yesterday was my birthday. I treated myself and got my hair done. Finally, after a couple months of not having my hair done, I feel a lot better about my appearance today. Yeah, so that's why this video took so long to get up. I'm sorry for making you guys wait. Based on the results of my Instagram poll, I think the next video I do is not going to be anti-MLM related. If you're interested in the topic of like fat acceptance, fat positivity in healthcare workers, stay tuned for that next video because I'm pretty sure that's going to be the next one that's coming your way. Thank you so very much for watching. Welcome again to all my new subs. Thank you to everybody who's been supporting and liking and commenting. I really appreciate it. Okay, that's it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Say hi, Zeus. Zeus, can you say like and subscribe? Can you? Sit.
Sit, baby girl.
Sit.
Baby girl, sit.
Alpha, are you serious right now?
Sit, girl.
Sit.
Sit, baby girl.
Well, Onyx is a good boy.
Baby, sit there.
Alpha, sit. Well, fine.